I'm Donald Trump. I wrote The Art of the Deal.
I didn't need to do this. You know, I built a great company, one of the great companies. I enjoyed my life. I could have enjoyed the fruits and benefit of years of successful business deals and businesses.
I was a businessman, very successful.
I've always loved business. I've always been very successful at making money. I'd buy things that would fail, and I'd turn them around and make them successful. And I've been good at it, and that takes a certain ability.
I've made billions and billions of dollars.
I'm really rich.
I'm very rich. I've built an unbelievable company. The money you're talking about is a lot, but it's peanuts for me.
I understand the tax laws better than almost anyone.
We know former President Donald Trump is the ultimate con artist. Still.
I know he's a huckster, but I like...
What does a huckster do?
A huckster tries to get people to buy a line or a concept.
What's another way of saying that?
Another way of saying that's a hypocrite.
To hear MAGA say it and flat out admit that they know they are being lied to is really something. Though let's be clear, this man is one of very few.
A man is campaigning on the fact that he's going to raise your taxes. I haven't seen.
At the end of the day, maybe it's getting a little old to the base.
You expect him to say "Make America Great" in there?
Oh, yeah.
You think he'll say that a bunch of times?
Yep.
Think he'll talk about the wall?
All guaranteed.
You think he'll say he wants to lock people up or whatever?
Only the criminals.
Yeah. Do you feel like the whole thing is getting a little tired, a little bit stale, almost a decade in?
Yeah, a little bit.
Again, shocking. But kudos to the good liars for going out in MAGA land to garner some answers.
It's so crazy that my poll numbers go up. Whoever heard you get indicted for interfering with a presidential election where you have every right to do it? You get indicted and your poll numbers go up.
Just a shocking admission, and thus...
So will you trust the election results if Donald Trump wins?
If he wins, yeah.
Will you trust the election results if Kamala Harris wins?
No, I wouldn't. No.
But does that bother you to say that?
What's that?
Does that feel sad to say?
Is that what?
Does that feel kind of sad to say that?
No.
Because if Donald Trump wins, you'll trust the election results, but if Kamala Harris wins, you will not.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. There you go.
MAGA beats to his drum when it comes to the facade talking point of election integrity, a farce designed to rile up his base in another conspiracy.
We start tonight with an all too familiar scene in American life. This time in Winder, Georgia, about 50 miles from Atlanta, just 4 weeks into the school year there. Gunfire erupted at Appalachia High School. Here's what we know. At least 4 people are dead, 2 students and 2 teachers, and 9 injured.
Of course, if you thought this news would change their minds on potentially altering how Americans obtain firearms at the direction of the gun lobby buying out Republican politicians.
The mass shootings are because why?
Because we have the Second Amendment that allows us to have guns. A lot of countries don't have the power to get guns as easily as we can, and that's the reason, because there's more guns.
The mass shootings are because of
more guns, more people, and if you have more guns, more people, more crazy people that have guns, stuff happens. I wouldn't blame the gun. You got to blame.
But you're that's the reason for more gun control, is that more guns, more crazy people, more bad things happen.
I mean, when a crazy person with a gun comes in, how do you take them out? Another gun.
So your answer to the gun issue would be more guns, more people carrying guns.
Well, they are still completely unfazed.
We're learning about an incident that took place when former President Trump visited Arlington National Cemetery for a wreath-laying ceremony on Monday. NPR was the first to report that 2 Trump campaign staffers had a confrontation with a cemetery official who tried to prevent them from filming. Trump campaign spokesman Stephen Chung denied portions of the report, saying that no physical altercation occurred, adding that the campaign would be willing to release footage, but that an official had tried to physically block members of the former president's team during the cemetery. Arlington National Cemetery later put out a statement confirming an incident took place and a report had been filed. The statement reads in part this way. Federal law prohibits political campaign or election-related activities within Army National Military Cemeteries to include photographers, content creators, or any other persons attending for purposes or in direct support of a partisan political candidate's campaign.
Remember this preposterous moment amongst many from the Trump campaign?
I have to ask, his team was at Arlington National Cemetery a couple of days ago. They got into a scuffle with an employee of the cemetery because they wanted to film some things for a campaign ad. Do you think that was a good thing or a bad thing of Trump's team to do?
Well, in a way, I think he meant well. Everybody has their roles.
Do you think he meant well? He's just a little stupid?
Yeah.
Apparently, MAGA does as well.
This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
He didn't, but this is another textbook example of why words matter. And additionally, why it is vital for political parties to anoint a nominee who will not continue to grift the public via false claims. Case in point, these deceitful speeches he has given has led to violence, a la January 6th, and still to this day.
If Trump wins, will you accept the results?
Of course.
If Kamala wins, will you accept the results?
No. No, because it won't be possible. It'll be an absolute canard. Nobody's really voting for
Yeah, but you gotta, when you listen to yourself say that, that's gotta be a red flag, right?
Yeah, no, it's not. Listen to what the Democrats say.
So say it again. If Donald Trump wins this election, will you accept the results?
Yes.
If Kamala Harris wins this election, will you accept the results?
No.
I mean, you gotta hear what that sounds like, right?
I don't care what it sounds like, because if they say she wins the election, she didn't win it.
They keep eating it up.
These are nasty people, the Democrats, so we better beat them or we're not going to have a country left. You're not going to have a country left. So now we have a new victim to defeat. Lion Kamala Harris. Lion. L-Y-I-N apostrophe. The most incompetent and far left vice president in American history.
Far left? We could only wish.
Donald Trump has had difficulty coming up with nicknames for Kamala Harris. He's got Lion Kamala. Mm-hmm. He's got Crazy Kamala, I think. He's got Kamabla. Yeah. None of them are really sticking. Yeah. Do you have any ideas for nicknames for Kamala? I might regret asking this.
I like Tucker Carlson when he was calling her Carmelo and stuff like that. I like Carmelo.
What did that mean?
I don't know. He just liked to screw her name up because all the libs, the Dems, they hate when you mess up her name and all that. So you can't say how is it? You have to say Kamala, not Kamala. You know. So
the screwing up her name is to get under her skin.
Oh, that could be. Yeah. Yeah.
So what did Tucker say?
He used to say Carmelo, just like that. He'd be like, "We're gonna talk about Carmelo."
Yeah, and
just to get under her skin, like you said.
And you thought that was, you loved it.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah, Tucker was great. You know?
But what's the joke exactly?
I don't know. She's just horrible. You know, she shouldn't even be running right now. You know.
Say it one more time. How he would say it?
Carmelo. You had to hear it from him.
Yeah, one of those had to be there. Yeah, he had to be there.
Yeah. In the moment.
In the moment, it would have been funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because right now it's just like not funny.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
However, the insults and nicknames just aren't sticking like they used to. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/tytsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.